Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad, not bad, not bad. It's been ages, isn't it?
I
It's been
know, I know.
it's
Yeah.
really really
So
really big.
you're into like video production, is it?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, that's what I'm into now. I'm into media because that's what I'm studying in uni. I should be writing it up next month. So I'm doing media
Okay.
film, do a little bit of media here, but
That,
just
that that's that is good. That is good. Yeah. So are you
yeah.
looking to set up a media company or
Point.
yeah?
I have this Tyler Perry dream. So that's why I'm
Say that again?
I have this Tyler Perry, the actor.
Yeah.
I have that his dream, one day having my own studio, do
Okay. Yeah.
film and stuff like that. So that's what it,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. You can do anything you put your mind on, bro. You
Yeah, yeah.
know. You
I'm
just have to
I'm very
focus.
good in
That's
creative.
all.
Yeah, exactly. That's just
Yeah.
what it is, just to be more
Yeah,
focused or something.
just focus on your dream. You can do anything, brother.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so basically, congratulations once again on your new book. This Osaro Theory. I saw the
Yeah.
book. I saw the book and I was like, wow, Elvis has done it again. He has been able to leave his comfort zone to write a book. I've not read the book yet, but I have ordered it. I ordered it on Amazon and it was telling me like, yo, it's gonna come like in 3, 4 days because of this COVID-19, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, this
Basically,
delay, isn't it?
yeah, so but me, I'm someone that like when I need something, I always like go the extra mile. So what I did, I just had to get some samples on the Kindle so that I'll be
Yeah.
able to like go through it exactly. And wow, I was inspired by the topics you got on the chapters. So
Yeah.
really touching. So
Yeah.
that's what I just try and get everyone up to see if he's up so that we can like have like a little conversation about the book.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. So basically, the book was just, it's something that I always had in the back of my mind.
Yeah,
I've been doing music. You know me, like I've been doing music for many years.
yeah,
And music is always like a passion. It's something I just do because I love music. But the book was always in the back of my mind, so I really didn't have time to focus on it. And also I was doubting myself that maybe I couldn't do it. So, but anyway, so I just had to like withdraw myself from social media and all that to really like focus on what I wanted to do. You understand me? So, and I got it done and put it out there. So yeah, it's been a bestseller, and it's worldwide actually. So and the book is available in Kindle, is available in paperback. Like this. You know, so
okay.
it's everywhere. You understand me? And this is one of my first books. So basically, I got three books. So this is my first book, and the second book is going to come out just because of this delay with the coronavirus. So we don't really know what's going to happen with this with what is going on now, really. So another book is going to be on its way too. If you check my website, I put it on top of my Instagram bio, so you can see all the book that is coming soon. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Because I know growing up, because basically we kind of grew up together in a way in Italy, and I
Yeah.
remember basically because I knew that yes, you in the music pathway, and there are some of your songs that have been seen on. I think you released a new albums. Some
Yeah, yeah. That music has always been there. Something that I've been doing as just for fun, really. Music is my second passion. Like what I do when I'm just maybe free, I just do it. But you know me, we'll be doing this for quite some
yeah,
time.
the
And
one
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
so with this now, my question is, what kind of inspired you? What
To write
inspired
a
you
book.
to write the book exactly?
Yeah. So basically, the inspiration for the book came from just growing up as an African, and coming to Europe and seeing what our people are going through in Europe, and then just questioning, like questioning why are we in the situation we are now. When you look at this coronavirus, especially what is happening in Africa, it's heartbreaking. So it's just those questions that you always question, you want to find answer to. The inspiration really came from there. So from there, I started gathering my thoughts around and researching until I figure out the solution for the problem. So that's why I call it Osaro Theory. Is a theory, is a hypothesis, and some of my book has been submitted to the British Psychological Journal. You understand me, in the UK, and so they're going to review it and come back to me if there's something that they're going to accept as a study that could be implemented into the institution or universities, or they can come back to me and say they need more empirical evidence. But we're still working on that. So, this is just, like I told you, this is just one of the first book. On the point of developing the book is that is to kind of coin the idea of African psychology. I don't know if you've ever heard of African psychology. It's basically a psychology that is centered around African people. You understand me? So, because when you look at the discrimination we have in the West, it seems like they don't understand African. So the book is kind of opening the door to them and say, hey, maybe here's an African psychology you can study and use to understand Africans' behavior instead of labeling them ADD or something like that, or giving them all kinds of names that they shouldn't be. But yeah, so that's where the book comes from. So it's just it's African psychology, really. So, and if you read it, you will understand.
Okay. Yeah. In the book here, 1 second, let me scroll through. In the book here, it has about 6 chapters, if I'm right.
Seven.
Sorry, 7 chapters. Yeah. And can you kind of explain chapter 3, which says Journey to Pan-Africanism?
Yeah. So Journey to Pan-Africanism is just basically me reviewing the idea of Pan-Africanism to really understand what it is, the impact it has on the Black community, and if it's really something that has any significance. You understand me? So sometimes we Black people take on ideas we don't really understand, and we're not really questioning it if it's impacting our daily life. You understand me? So the idea of Pan-Africanism has been around, I don't know, I think before I was born. So, but we never really questioned what is Pan-Africanism, what is it doing to help African people? Because look at African people in Africa. What is Pan-Africanism at the end of the day? What is it helping? It's not helping our people. So if Pan-Africanism is basically an idea that is just thrown around because of we want to get some sort of recognition or some sort of pride within Black community, it's something that we have to kind of revalue and ask ourselves the question: what is Pan-Africanism at the end of the day? How is Pan-Africanism changing the lives of African people? And if we don't find an answer to that, that means we shouldn't be using the word Pan-Africanism. And when you see a lot of Africans in diaspora, they talked about how they are Pan-Africanists, right? But when you look at the behavior towards Africa and behavior towards the people of color, you can ask yourself, like, where is Pan-Africanism? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just basically is to revalue those ideas and see how it's impacting African life, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in the chapter 5, you kind of talked about change of perception.
Yeah.
What do you mean about change of perception? Is it like, for example, when the Africans when they like come overseas, they have this kind of change of perception on of how they see.
Of course, Africans have a perception of what Europe is, and when they come to Europe, some of those ideas or perception that they have about Europe, when they come to Europe, they don't find it. It changes. So, but the problem is, it's not the Africans in Africa, it's we in diaspora who have come to Europe. We've tasted it. We know how it feels. So we should be the one in position to educate them in Africa. Like, hey, here's how Europe is. Don't think you come to Europe, you get everything paid for. Don't think Europe is paved with gold. Don't think money grows on trees in Europe. Like, Europe is not what you think. You know, so we have to educate them. But when you really take time to focus your attention in the Black community, one thing you have to realize is that there's a miseducation that is going on. People are not really honest with themselves. People are not honest with Africans in Africa. So most Africans that are in diaspora, that are living in Europe, they portray this lifestyle as if Europe is the paradise where we all have to be. So, and those Africans who are watching them from Africa, they think that's what Europe is, really. So the change of perception is really basically questioning that, listen, we in diaspora, we have responsibility to educate those in Africa what Europe really is, instead of lying or portraying Europe as this sort of heaven on earth place that we all have to come. And then when you look at the impact and the consequences of what we have done over the years during this process of miseducation, like you know Italy, you know how many people are crossing the Mediterranean Sea to come to Europe, and you know how many people are dying. You know, according to the UN, I think United Nations, right, in 2018 alone, about 324,000 migrants died in Mediterranean Sea, drowned. So that is something we have to take seriously. Like, our people are trying to come to Europe because they see us portraying this lifestyle in Europe. So those are the things that we have to focus on and tell them, educate them. You understand me?
Yeah, but the thing is, we're still on the same topic, this change of perception, because according to the people that died coming through the sea to Italy and stuff like that, how can you change? Because no matter how hard you try, lots of them in Africa, they've seen, they hear, and they even watch on TV how people die. Most of them, even their own brother, their own family person, it's died in the same process. But many of them, they are still willing. They're still like focused. Like, doesn't matter. That guy died. That's him. I can go through it. I'll take the next boat, whatever, and I'll get to it to Europe. You know. So, like, how can we change like someone's perception? How can we change someone's mind?
I think that's a very good question, Tony. That's a very good question that I've asked myself over the years. That you have people on one hand who are poor, they don't have any other option, and the other hand, we know the risk. You see, we on this side know the risk. So I think what we have to do is that we have to educate them, and in order for us to educate them, we have to be honest with ourselves. We, the one living in Europe, we have to be honest with ourselves, and ask ourselves the question: have we really done much to help those Africans? Because if all we do is to buy a car, ship it to Africa, to buy all these nice clothes and nice shoes, and go to Africa and show off to them and brag about the things we have, we are fueling their desire to want to come to Europe. And then they see us, they think that's just what Europe is. They have to go. They're not going to listen to neither one of us. They're going to go anyway. So because we are not taking the responsibility to try and educate them and say, listen, I know you have a desire to come to Europe, but here's the other side of Europe that you need to know before you take on that that journey, you know. So that change of perception has to happen. We Africans have to change our perception so that we can engage our people and bring them an awareness. Awareness is important, you know. So if people are not aware, there's nothing you can really do, you know, Tony. We have to bring them awareness and tell them, the reality is, here is the other side of Europe you don't see. And if you ask, if you see, there's only few Africans that are willing to do that. The Africans who live in Europe, they are willing to really tell honest truth about their condition in Europe. Most of them, they don't tell their family what they go through in Europe. They don't.
But don't you think that this change of perception, don't you think it should start from the top, like from our leaders in Africa? Because basically, you see them, when they are sick, they all come to Europe to get well.
That's correct.
And they got hospitals over there. Why use their hospital? Why do they think that it's the hospital in London or the hospital in Russia That's where I can get the best. But why don't they have time like, oh, wherever these people can afford in their hospitals, why can't we buy it, put it in the hospital? That's what I'm talking about, the leaders, like from the president.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that's a brilliant question, Tony.
Because change has to start from the top.
Absolutely. You see,
that perception starts from the top. No one wants to risk their life to go through that deadly path, that's the sea, to come over to Europe and stuff like that. So that's why I think if there's no change at the top, if the perception don't change at the top, there's no way you can tell them not to come over. It's like
absolutely.
It's like someone hungry now, and here there's food over here. Where he is, there's no food. Well, the person at the top has loads of food eating. If the person at the top don't give him food, he always wants to come over to where there's food. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So
I do agree with you. That's a brilliant question. You know, and what I can say is that we have to bring awareness. You understand me? The leaders are not doing their job. We know that for more than 4 decades. So they're not doing their job. But we, the younger generation, like myself and like you, or like someone else, whoever is listening, that we have to do the unthinkable. We have to change it, because if not, we're gonna leave to the next generation this environment of this environment that celebrates bad behavior. You understand me? That celebrates corruption, that celebrates miseducation, that celebrates all kinds of, you know, negative behavior that you don't find in other communities. We have to make the change. You understand me? So the only thing I can say is, like, just like you said, right? They don't have food, so they don't have choice. But it's like we in Europe, in diaspora, we have a responsibility. You just imagine someone who is drinking dirty water. They are drinking dirty water because they don't have other options to find a clean water. But we cannot go there and knock off the dirty water from their hand and say, hey, you guys are drinking dirty water. Come on, stop drinking dirty water. We cannot do that. So the only thing we can do is to present them an alternative, which is to give them clean water and say, hey, I know you'll be drinking dirty water. Here's a clean water for you, right? Whenever you have time, please try this. That is what Osaro Theory is basically, I'm talking about. Is basically, I'm saying, like, change of perception. Whenever you're ready, here's another alternative. You a point of reference you can use when you're ready. You understand me? So that's all we can do, really. We cannot change their life, but we can bring awareness to them and educate them the proper way.
Oh, great. Nice one. If we go to the next question, that's the chapter 6. That's a very, very good, strong topic you put here, which is hunters in a society of farmers. Can you break that down?
Yes. Well, hunters in the societies of farmers is basically an analogy that I use in the book to kind of explain how Africans are different from European. You understand me? So, I make the analogy that Africans are hunters in the societies of farmers. Europeans are very proactive in everything they do. Western country is well organized and structured. You understand me? They are very proactive. They are very hardworking. You understand me? So I kind of put in this analogy to explain that it's just like a farmer. A farmer take time to farm. You know, they take time to wet the soil, put the seed, take time for the seed to grow, takes time for everything to becomes this thing we buy in the shop, like the fruit or the vegetables we buy in the shop. And then you have hunters who just wake up in the morning and they go hunt. They hunt, they kill, they eat, for that day is over. So that is what I'm trying to explain between the Africans, the difference between the Africans and the Europeans. Africans, we hunt for the day, we eat, and then we forget about tomorrow. Europeans are like a farmer, right? They take that time to plant the seed. They take that time to wet the soil. They take that time to cultivate the crop. They take that time to harvest it, and becomes this great thing we buy in the shops. So the difference is what I try to make people to understand. Like, here's how Europeans do it. We can copy or do a reverse engineering and just take some of the idea that they're implementing and also implement it to ourselves. You understand me? No, not everybody got it figured out. You understand me? So there are certain things we have to learn from Europeans as well, and say, here's certain things they're doing good that we are not doing, and try to copy that. You understand me? And just make it better for ourselves, and that's it.
Yeah, but I think that most Africans, which you say they are the hunter, I think most of them they do have the ideas, but if you don't have the structure, if you don't have the facilities, if you don't have the backing, you still be in the same place where you won't be able to move forward. It's just like the Europeans now.
Yeah,
they got all the backings they want, they got all the facilities they want, they have all the things they want. There are people around to back them up. So you see that it's kind of like it's a different world.
Absolutely. African, what we just need to do, Tony, that's a good question. What we just need to do, we just need to support each other more. That's all. Unity comes first. Without unity, you cannot do anything. The Chinese are united. The Arabs are united. Europeans are united. They who go anywhere. They even in the UK, right? You go to the shops are mostly owned by Indians and Pakistanis. They're a very united group of people, community. So Africans, we have to understand that if we have to move forward as a people, we have to be united. Regardless of our differences. You can have a different opinion. I can have a different opinion. You understand me? But that doesn't matter at the end of the day. If we have a goal, you understand me? Our differences shouldn't separate us from our ideas. You understand me? And also, you understand? So if we really want to change anything, we have to be united. Like you want to start this media production, I might have some good idea you might need. You understand me? And just feel free to ask. Or you can have a good idea about my book or about my music. I should be able to listen to your ideas and start taking it as a criticism or as what's the word? Negative way. You understand me? So we have to be united as a people. If we are not united, Tony, we can sit here and talk for another 100 years. We're not going to go anywhere. We have to be united, and we have to grow up as people. That's what men do. Men, you grow up, you understand how the world works, and then you align with people that think like you. And that is the first thing we have to do. Align with the people that think like us, that support our vision and support our ideas. Of course, there are many Africans who got good ideas. They don't get the support because our community, we are notorious for not supporting each other. You see? But in other communities, they got all the resources that they need. They got all the financial help that they need to support them. So, but in our community, we don't put those financial resources together. We don't do nothing. We just want to see other people fail. You understand me? Because I don't know, due to some petty stuff. But at the end of the day, we have to understand that it's not about us. At the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the future. You got children, I got children. You understand me? It's about the future for them. And if we are not willing to sacrifice for them, we shouldn't call ourselves men in the first place, because men do what men are supposed to do: provide, protect, and support your family. So if we are not doing that, we are not doing nothing. You understand me? Italians say prima la familia, means your race first. So if we are really if we are really that gangster as a people, we should understand that even the mafia talks about prima la familia. So it's about your kind first. So if we really that gangster, we should follow the principle. But we are not following that. So there's a lot of hypocrisy in the Black community. But we have to be honest with ourselves and say what it is, and say this has to change. If not, if we are just like sugarcoating it and just lying to ourselves, we're not going to move anywhere, Tony. That's just the honest truth.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. That's a very strong word you just said now. The last question I'll ask you now is, can you just explain that emotional reservoir? What do you mean by that emotional reservoir?
So basically, emotional reservoir is a concept I coined. It's a new term I coined, that's why I told you about the British Psychological Journal. We're still working with them to see if it's something that will be accepted. Emotional reservoir is something I coined by when I started to like study the differences between Black, white, and Asians in behavior and also in genetics as well. So what I discovered is that Africans have a higher emotional reservoir. So basically, what is a higher emotional reservoir? Let me just explain it. So according to my theory, right, the people that evolve in Africa, right, so they absorb more emotional reservoir than Europeans and Asia. So basically, Africans have higher vitamin D in their genes. You understand me? So if you ask yourself, what makes us Black? You understand me? Why are we Black? Why are we not white? Because we come from a place where it's very hot. The tropical Africa, the environment makes us Black because it's very hot in Africa. So then the question is that these differences in skin complexion, how does it alter the differences, right, in behavior? So what I've studied, which it has been a very intense study. What I've come up with is that Africans' behavior is slightly different from European. You see, we talked about Black people not coming together. Then the question is that why are they not coming together? What I realize is that Africans have emotional reservoir, a very high emotional reservoir. So in other words, Africans are just a bit too emotional, you understand me, than Europeans and Asia. So this emotional reservoir is what is holding African back. Africans are just too emotional. They are too emotional to the point whereby emotion kind of hijack their cognitive ability, which is their neocortex, which is the thinking brain. You understand me? So which makes Africa behave in a certain way that is not socially acceptable, but because no psychologist has ever pointed it out to our people that our people are too emotional, and that is the reason that our society is failing. So we just carry on as if it's a normal routine, as if it's a normal way of life. So that's what emotional reservoir is basically that Africans are a bit too emotional. And in the book, I lay down the step that we can take to kind of help to reduce this emotion. You understand me? So that's just what it is.
That's good. Yeah. There's a question here from Pascal. Shout out to Pascal. He said, I believe one of the major problems in Africa, especially Nigeria, is religion. Can you? He's saying religion is a problem. One of the major problems is religion. So what do you think about that?
I think Pascal is right. Like, of course, Nigeria problem, African problem, not just Nigeria in any way. African problem is religion. But, religion, I study philosophy. I've been studying the work of Greek philosophy for more than 6 months. I really went in. And what I come to realize is that religion is not real. Religion is a man-made, I don't know, what's the word you want to use? It's a fiction, it's a story. It's not real. But
to me, I feel religion was used as a trade by barter stuff.
Yes, that, you're right.
Over for exchange of goods and services.
You're right. Your religion was, here's how they created religion. So basically, religion was created during the time of slavery, really, because it's a way that to condition the people, you understand me, not to rebel against their oppressor. So at the end, because when you really think about it, how can the same European who brought us Christianity were the one enslaving us at the same time?
At the same time, point.
Ask yourself the question: why would they be enslaving us and putting our people in chains and castrating them and doing all kinds of evil to them, or at the same time they're giving them religion to teach them not to rebel, to pray to God, to forgive their enemy? Religion was basically a tool to manipulate, to control, and that's what it was created for. The reason why Africans are so, or like what Pastor said, the problem why religion has become a problem in Africa, because we have people in Africa who call themselves pastors who have taken this religion and see it as a way to quickly enslave the people. You understand me? So because there are a lot of people that and uneducated in Africa. They don't have the right education. So people who got a little education like this, right, they quickly take religion and use it as a way to even enslave the people more by miseducating them and telling them, well, they have to do this, pay their tithe, and exploit them exploit them so that take money from them, what have you. That's why religion has become a problem. If you go to Africa now, in every 2 streets there's a church. You understand me? In every 2 streets there's a church. At the end of the day, if you look at the amount of time that Black people spend in church, instead of taking that time to develop ourselves or to spend reading or studying, it's just astronomical. Black people spend too much time in church, less time in personal development, and that is the problem. But in order for us to change it, again, Tony, we have to bring awareness that religion is a story, it's not real.
Okay, and I think there's another question again by Pascal. It said, in Africa, should politics be a full-time job?
Wow. That is a good question, my friend. That is a good question. If politics should be a full-time job, wow. Depend what Pascal mean by full-time job, like, I don't know. Politics is just a way.
Pascal, what do you mean by full-time? What do you mean by full-time job?
Depend what he means by full-time job, like, it's very hard to answer that question, because politics should be a way of governing a society, you understand? So so if politics is not doing that in Africa, then we have to ask, what is politics for? You understand me? So, and African politicians are not doing that, so they're doing the opposite of that. So now he has become a real full-time job for the politicians, because they just see it as an opportunity to miseducate the masses, to take their wealth and run away and go somewhere else. But politics, when you live in a developed country, politics, when you see how the politics are run in Western society, you see that it's different from where African run politics. So politics shouldn't be, in other words, a full-time job, because but in Africa,
he has responded. He said, should they be paid a lot for working for the country?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, so absolutely no. They shouldn't be paid too much money for trying to govern the country. Like, anybody that has a good idea or wants to go into politics, it's because you really genuinely love to help the people, right? We shouldn't pay you for that. It's because you have a genuine heart to help the people. So if people are going into politics to get paid, that means they don't care about the people. That's just what it is.
Yeah, that's true. They shouldn't be paid a lot.
They shouldn't be paid a lot.
Just like churches that they pay pastors a lot. I don't know why should you pay someone that is kind of teaching you, putting you on the right path. You're paying the person a lot of money just to put you on the right path. It's not so. It's with politics too. When you are there and you are a leader, you need to lead with your heart. You need to lead with all your with everything you got. So at least your people are living right. Your people are doing things that are right, rather than you kind of like just come out with rubbish. Then they pay you loads of money, siphon money, things like that. So to me, I feel
that's what politics is. That's what politics is now in Africa. It's just a way to like get rich. It's like a get rich quick, So it shouldn't be the way, But hey, we still need change. We still need to bring awareness and educate people. Like, look at this coronavirus issue in Africa now. You see that people are home. There's a lockdown, and people are not giving the help that they need at this time. So that if the politicians really care about the people of Africa or the people of Nigeria, this is the time to show it. You see, this is the right time to show their love for the people, but they are not doing it. So that means they never cared about the people.
Yeah. So I think Pascal is back again. He said, should the southeast population of Nigeria be given a referendum? Is it like splitting the country?
I know the Biafra, right? Is it the Biafra, right? The
exactly.
Igbos? Yeah. No. Igbos are like a godsend to Nigeria. The Igbos are very
They are
talented
very,
people.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, very talented people and very skillful people. So Nigeria should be grateful for having the Igbos in Nigeria. So I don't think it would be heartbreaking to see the Igbo leave Nigeria. But at the same time, I can understand the struggle, like the struggle of the Biafran people, because they've been oppressed in Nigeria. At the end of the day, is it right for them to leave Nigeria? No. But can they stay in Nigeria? You see, but that's a question we have to ask ourselves. The Igbos are oppressed in Nigeria, and it's not good. The Igbos are very talented. If it wasn't for the Igbo, because when I was in Nigeria growing up, you see, when any brand or product comes out in Europe, give the Igbo 2 weeks, you will see a copy of that same product in Nigeria.
Yeah, point, yeah.
You see, but that's talent, Tony. That's talent at the end of the day. That is talent, because they can produce.
Exactly. So to me, I don't blame the Igbo people for anything, because what they're trying to do, they're trying to tell us that we need to like embrace what we have. If we embrace our products, Nigeria will move forward. But
absolutely.
So it doesn't make sense that way. And to me, this thing shouldn't work. The problem I just think is the problem I think Nigeria is facing is tribalism. I think the language is too much in Nigeria.
I think you're right, but I think it comes down to leadership. We African, we need a good leader. You understand me? A good leader would bring the people together. A country like Nigeria shouldn't be based on tribalism like Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo. No. I think by now Nigeria should legalize Pidgin English or institutionalize Pidgin English that everybody can speak, regardless of what part of Nigeria you're from. You understand me? And again, to answer the question about the Igbos being marginalized in Nigeria, yes, they be marginalized, but Nigeria cannot let the Igbo go. If Nigeria let the Igbo go, that country would disintegrate. You understand me? The Igbo are access to Nigeria. They are a powerful group of people, and they are there for a reason. We should utilize the Igbo for good things in Nigeria. They do amazing things. I saw a car that was produced in Nigeria. I saw a car that was produced in Nigeria, produced by an Igbo man. So the Igbos are talented people. We have to use them and know their value before we lose them. So the Igbo, no, the Igbo has to stay. But we have to fight with them and fight for a better Nigeria for all of us. No, you understand me?
So to you now, what do you think? If, for example, if you are given a chance now to rule Nigeria for just a day, what I think is going to change?
What would I change?
Yeah, or what I think are you going to put in place, or what I think that you're going to change?
All right. Well, that's a good question. I never thought of ruling Nigeria, but if I do have the opportunity to rule Nigeria as a country, the first thing we must do is a reconciliation, right? That reconciliation, that country is bleeding. That country is bleeding from within. So there's an internal bleeding in that country. So we need a reconciliation amongst all the tribe. So I would call all the tribe to the table and have a consultation and come together and agree how we're going to rule that country. So that would be the first thing I would do. And then other ideas might follow after that. But first of all, a reconciliation amongst all the tribe. You understand me? Because you cannot govern a country, or you cannot have a house that is disorganized. You see, even a family, you cannot have a family that is fighting each other within. You cannot do anything, really. So we need a unity. So the first thing to do will be to reconcile with everybody. The Igbo have to be given a voice. The Yoruba have to be given a voice. The Edos have to be given a voice. The Hausa have to be given a voice. Everybody needs a voice. Everybody needs to belong to something. And until we find out something to bring these people together, there is no country for all of us. So the first thing I would do is a process of reconciliation, bringing everybody together. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Pascal, this is a tough one. He said, "What do you think about the conspiracy theory about? What do you think about the conspiracy theory about the billionaire Bill Gates as the Antichrist?"
Bill Gates is not the Antichrist. Definitely, Antichrist does not exist, Pascal. All right, if you Antichrist does not exist, it's not coming.
Antichrist don't exist. You
It
heard this
doesn't
now.
exist, Pascal. So just relax, man.
Just wants to know your opinion, anyways.
Yeah. So my opinion is that Bill Gates, of course, there is an agenda to reduce the world population. That's been around for many years. You understand me? So I think since 1960s. So there's an agenda to reduce the world population. And you see, in my book, if you read the end of my book, I talk about the survival of African people and African Americans as well. You know, I kind of predicted this global catastrophe was going to come anyway. You know, it's in my book. Here, it's in my book. So there's an agenda to reduce Black population in Africa and also African Americans as well. There's an agenda to reduce the world population. So what Bill Gates is basically doing, he's like the you can say the guy behind this vaccine, the creation of vaccine for this African country. So he's been funding institutions to develop vaccine to kill millions of people. And that is what he's been doing for many years. If you look at every speech he has gave regarding vaccination or pandemic or even Africa, he's been talking about vaccination, vaccine Africa. So Bill Gates has an agenda to kind of push vaccine to Africa to kill millions of people. And that is no conspiracy, that's a fact. You understand me? So at the end of the day, we have to be careful that, you know, we don't take vaccine. And also people in diaspora, you know, if they introduce vaccine, you guys have to be careful not to let your children get vaccination. You understand me? Because it's a very dangerous thing.
Yeah, but this stuff about them reducing population stuff. They're reducing population. They're putting people in lockdown. After the lockdown, are we not going to have more children on the way? We're going to have more babies coming in it. People, they say people are going to give birth.
After the lockdown.
You know how many pregnant people now they're going to give birth after the lockdown, like 9 months from now.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't. You see, I
don't want. Yeah, I don't want to really go into details. You understand me? This lockdown, there's an agenda behind it, you know. But I think we're going to discuss that some other time, you know. But there's an agenda. Yeah, there's an agenda behind the lockdown. The lockdown is not basically for coronavirus. There's another agenda behind that. But that's something we can discuss some other time. That's, you know,
enough
different. Yeah, but yeah, you know, but at the end of the day, people's gonna have baby. They're still gonna live their life. We cannot stop them, you know. So, but yeah.
Wow. See what Lisa Lily 66 said. She said there's a new law that you cannot have more than 4 kids in some countries now.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. In China, you cannot have more than 2, but there are 1.something billion in population. So then you think about it.
Well, that kind of law can't happen in Africa though, because in a country that you're allowed to marry more than 3-4 wives. So what are you going to do?
Well, it has to happen. If we really want to change Africa, we have to kind of control the amount of children people can have so that we can have a better society, because the amount of children also reflect the amount of poverty, really. Because when you look at people with more children tend to be more poorer. That's just the truth. But if we really want to develop Africa, not like to put restriction and tell people not to have babies, but we have to kind of educate people to kind of limit the amount of children they have so that they can educate the one they have, educate them better, give them a good education so that they can succeed in life. So it just is, you know, it's a vice versa thing, you know, but at the end of the day, people still gonna live their life. You understand?
Yeah. Alisa, you okay? Yeah. She said in Russia. Okay, because she lives in Russia. She said it's just you're only allowed to have 4 kids.
4.
Normal.
Yeah.
Then what do you have like 6? You have like 6 triplets. What are they going to do?
Yeah,
Are you going to take Small few.
I think Russia having 4 children is good. It's good in Russia because in China you only have 2.
Yeah, but what if the woman gives birth to 6 kids at the same time, or 7 babies at the same time? Also happens. It happens once in a while, isn't it? What are they going to do? Because government going to
6 kids at the same time. I don't think that's scientifically possible, though.
Yeah, there's 6-tuplets now. There's octuplets.
Is it? I've never seen that though. But yeah.
No, go online. Go online.
Yeah. I'll check it out. I didn't know that, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Anyways, it's really great talking with you. And for you guys listening, he just wrote his new book, and it's called The Osaro Theory.
Yeah. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on any online bookstore.
It's on Kindle.
Any online bookstore, yeah.
So basically, I did mine on Kindle because I couldn't wait for Amazon to bring mine, so I had to get it on Kindle. And trust me, I'm going to go through it. But the topics in all the chapters, they are very, very interesting. It's something that everyone needs to kind of get a copy and read through. And yes, that's what it is. Nice one. I really appreciate having you.
Well, thank you.
And trust me,
yeah,
it's not the end. We're going to come back again another time. I'm going to come up. It's not just this time. We're not going to talk about books again. We're going to just talk about general problems, things happening, what we can put together. Because the main thing about this my life thing is this life program is how to change lives.
Yeah,
trust me. There are loads of people that are praying every day to be where you are right now, and you and I, we pray to get higher.
Of course, absolutely. So we have a responsibility to help them, So
we need to this program is going to keep coming, and we're going to bring ideas to the table and see how we can change lives.
Yeah.
How we can change lives, even if it's not all about money, but it's just all about ideas.
Yeah,
what we can do, and that's what it is. So the name of the book is The Osaro Theory. I'll write it out. The Osaro Theory. Good. So that's the name of the book. It's on Amazon. You can get it on a Kindle. It's lovely. And nice one.
Yeah. Tony, thanks for having me and giving me this platform. Share my ideas.
Come back.
Definitely. Just let me know. All right. Take it easy, brother.
Okay. Take it. Yes.
Bye.